What's up, everybody? So today we are meal prepping chicken burritos. I love them. You love them? Okay, they're a favorite of my son's. We go to Chipotle all the time. He gets the big burrito with the rice and the beans and the chicken. So I figured I'd make some at home, save myself a couple bucks, and then make some for the rest of the week too. The great thing about these is that we're going to freeze them. So we'll leave out a few for a few days, and then you can put the rest in the freezer. Are you ready to get started? Let's do this. So the trick to making these chicken burritos are to cook everything in advance, let everything cool, and then wrap them, and then freeze them. If you let everything cool, when you go to put it in the tortilla, it won't get soggy. And then when you put it in the freezer, it'll freeze quicker, and it'll be better when you take it back out. And then all you have to do is really throw it in the microwave for about 3 to 4 minutes. You're all good to go. You can put it in the oven for about 30 minutes or about 300 degrees roughly. I'll let you know if that's right later. All right. So first thing to get started is I'm going to be using chicken breast, of course, but I'm going to be using it in the slow cooker. So last week I did the pork rice bowls. I did those in a slow cooker too. So easy. I said, let's do it again. So here we are. Let's go ahead and put those chicken breasts in there. I have 8 chicken breasts. I already went into the liberty of trimming all the fat off. Now, anytime I cook chicken breasts in the crock pot, I don't need to add any water. Because chicken breasts are loaded with water. One, they're injected so that they last longer in the freezer and so forth. So you really don't need to add any additional water. This is going to be one of the easiest meal preps you see. All right, so all in there. Now all we have to do is add our spice. I got a half a teaspoon of paprika, a half a teaspoon of onion powder, half a teaspoon of oregano, 1 teaspoon of Himalayan pink salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 tablespoon of chili powder, and 1 tablespoon of cumin. I've already went ahead and pre-measured mine out, so let's go ahead and just add that to the crock pot. Easy peasy. And then I'm gonna put some lemon. No, these aren't lemons. I'm gonna go ahead and put some limes in there. I'm gonna do the juice of 2 limes. Now, do you roll your limes before you cut them open and juice them? I do. I didn't do the first one, but I'll do this one. It's always good to have the trash can right next to you. Makes cleanup easy. All right, we have 3 cloves of garlic. I'm gonna lightly chop these up. I don't think it's really lightly. I'm gonna quickly chop these up. There we go. That's it. 3 cloves of garlic. Add that to the crock pot. And then lastly, I have a jalapeno. Like I said in my last video and this video, if you don't want it as spicy, don't put all the seeds in. Take some of the seeds out, okay? You have to cook to your audience. You have a lower temperament for heat, take them out. It just really give it a nice, good flavor. If you really want to get fancy, you can roast these on the stove if you have an open flame and then put it in. That'll give it a really good flavor too. I'm leaving some seeds in, some seeds out. All right, that's it. Let's put the top on that and cook that for 6 hours on low. All right, so while the chicken is cooking in the crock pot, let's go ahead and put everything else together. That way when the chicken is done, it's gonna all be done and all we have to do is let the chicken cool and then assemble everything. Now for my burritos, I'm gonna do some onion, red pepper, we have some black beans, I have some fat-free cheddar cheese, and then I'm gonna do cilantro lime rice. So I have salt, pepper, and cilantro to go along with some more limes. I already have the rice in the rice cooker cooking, so let's go ahead and chop up the onion and red pepper and then saute those for a couple of minutes. All right, let's get to it. Now you may ask, why didn't I just throw the peppers and the onions in with the chicken in the crock pot? Because I want them to have a little bit more texture. If they cook in the crock pot, they're gonna get really soft. I still want them to retain a little bit of a crunch. So I'm just gonna saute them for a quick 2 to 3 minutes, and that's it. Just in a little bit of olive oil, about 1 tablespoon. All right, I have my pan preheating. Let's go ahead and add the peppers and onions to the pan. So we're going to use black beans, but I'm going to use black beans that have no salt added. You should kind of see a trend in all my videos that I try to keep the sodium level down as much as possible. Why? Because salt is just as bad as sugar in many ways. I mean, one, it can lead to water retention. So if you wonder why you're bloated all the time, probably have too much salt intake. Two, how about strokes? A lot of people don't realize that they have such high blood pressure and they need to watch their sodium level. So when my dad had his heart attack, there's a few things that we started throwing out the window. One was a lot of red meat, so we don't eat a lot of red meat very often, maybe once in a while. But two was a very low salt diet. And I've adapted that, you know, way back from when my dad had his heart attack, when I was a child, and as I've grown up, I've kind of made sure to keep that kind of philosophy going. And then really as, you know, humans, our sodium intake should be no more than 2,000 milligrams really per day. And then if you're African American, you're more susceptible to like things that are associated with high blood pressure and cardiac disease and things like that nature. So your sodium intake should be even less, anywhere between 15 to 1,600 milligrams of sodium, okay? Foods naturally have sodium, so let's not add a lot of additional sodium. So when I try to cook, I try to really read the nutrition label to see what that sodium intake is per serving. It can look like a little bit, but how many servings are you really eating? So know what you're putting in your body at all times, all right? Now I'm gonna be using some low carb, mixed and balanced tortillas. I was looking for the big burrito ones, but I just couldn't find them. And every burrito choice that I saw was like 35 grams of carbs. Even when you took the fiber out, it was like 29, so way too much. So these are going to be 4 grams of net carbs. So they have total of 19 grams of carbs, but dietary fiber is 15 grams. So this is a really good choice. And then again, I'm going to use some fat-free cheddar cheese. 1/4 of a cup is only 45 calories, and your fat is 000, carbs are 3, so not a bad if you're someone who has to have cheese. I really don't like a lot of cheese, so I'll probably use even less than that, but this is going to help with the burritos as well. Always rinse your beans. I've said that before. Rinse your beans. It helps with the flavor, helps with gas, and different things. All right, so let's go check on the peppers and onions. So as you can see, we got a nice good caramelization on them. They're still very firm in texture. So when I go to put these with burritos, they'll still have a nice taste because of the caramelization. It's all about different textures in your food. You don't want everything to be soft. So this will still allow for some crunch. All right, we'll let this cool and I'll see you in about 6 hours when the chicken's done. All right, see you then. All right, so one thing we can do while we're waiting for the chicken is the cilantro lime rice. It's really simple. It's 3 ingredients, 4 ingredients including the rice. So I have 2 cups of rice. I took it out the rice cooker, took a fork, and I kind of just flaked it up a little bit. That's all you have to do with that. I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of black pepper. Unfortunately, I grabbed a ½ teaspoon, so we'll do this twice. It's still just 1 teaspoon. All right, so now that I've added the salt and pepper, let's go ahead and add the zest of a lime, okay? So I have my zester or grater, whatever you use. Let's go ahead and do that. It helps if I take the plastic off. The more zest, the more lime flavor. I want to roll that lime a little bit. It's not as pretty as before, but it still works. Now all I have to do now is just mix it up. If you want more lime, you can just add more lime juice to it if you like. Oops, I forgot the cilantro. How's it cilantro lime rice without the cilantro? Okay, rookie mistake. All right, now it's cilantro lime rice. That looks good. And you always want to add the lime, the cilantro afterwards because otherwise it changes the taste of it. Cilantro becomes a little bit more bitter. Let's go ahead and give it a taste test. Perfect, all done. So now we're still waiting on the chicken. Come on, chicken, cook. Not yet, hasn't been long enough. I'll see you in a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and clean up And then we'll come back and we'll put it all together. And I'm gonna eat me a burrito. All right, see you in a little bit. All right, guys, so it's been about 6 hours. The chicken is done. Let's look at it and see what we got going on here. Woo! That smells good. Now, this has been cooking for about 6 hours, so it's gonna be really easy to shred. Oh, look at that. I get in there, I just pull that apart. Wow. This is gonna taste good in the burrito. Now remember, I didn't add any extra liquid except for, you know, a little bit of the lime juice, and look at all that juice that it made. All right, so chicken breasts are always kind of like injected with extra water. One, it makes them look fuller when you go to buy them. Two, it helps preserve them. So a lot of times when you're looking at your packages, you know, it's gonna say chicken breast and like salt. Again, there's that salt. So now that I shredded all the chicken, go ahead and let it sit for about 5 to 10 minutes in that juice to really soak up the flavor. Then I would drain it. That way, again, when we go to make the burritos, we're not putting soggy stuff on a dry tortilla, making the tortilla soggy for later on. All right, let's get back to finish shredding, and then we'll set this aside. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and assemble our first chicken burrito. All right. Hey, does anyone know what this shirt is? Cobra Kai, from what movie it is? Comment below if you do. Okay, I grew up watching this movie, seen it about 50 times. This is an iconic movie. Everyone should know it. All right, what movie is this shirt from? All right, comment below. All right, let's go ahead and do our first burrito. Remember, everything should be cool, so I cooked all this stuff about 6 to 8 hours ago, so it's been in the refrigerator, nice and cold. This has been resting for about 20 minutes or so. All right, I'm gonna do the rice layer first. At least that's what they do at Chipotle, isn't it? The rice. Do you want the cilantro or do you want the brown rice? I will take the cilantro lime rice, please, with white. We don't wanna make these too big because I couldn't find the bigger burrito wrappers. I say that's roughly probably like 1/4 of a cup. Little black beans. I'm gonna make mine without beans, but for the camera, we'll do black beans. A little bit of chicken. And let me tell you something, this chicken is so moist. Amazing. All right, come in close for a close-up. Little sauteed vegetables, peppers and onions, and then just a little bit of cheese. Maybe a little more. Remember, 1/4 of a cup is only 45 calories, so I'm probably using about a tablespoon or 2. Now here's the fun part. Am I gonna be able to wrap this? All right, gotta get a little messy and use our hands. Okay, so I think I gotta fold that way. I think the trick is to tuck and pull back as we fold over. I'm not the best. All right, first one done. You know what it's time for? Taste test. Now you could top this with some fresh guacamole. You could use some salsa. You could do it up. I mean sour cream, but that's not really like for those trying to live a healthy lifestyle. But you could put a little bit of sour cream, a dollop will do you. Well, let's go ahead and dig in. Ready? Oh, wait a minute. This has beans. Oh, the things I do for you guys. This is good. You should try. You want some? I know you want some. That looks amazing, doesn't it? This one's mine. You gotta go make your own. All right, I'm gonna finish this and I'm gonna wrap up some more and I'll be back in a few minutes, okay? Or maybe 10. Just, go ahead, I wanna finish eating this. All right. All right, guys, so we are all done. It's only 1 o'clock in the morning, good Lord. So I've wrapped all the burritos here. We got 16 burritos in total. I wrapped 6 to put in the freezer, and the other 10 we can eat throughout the week. Again, multiple people are eating this. This is not just me. Now, the good thing about this is you can top it with some taco sauce, salsa. Like I said, you can use some fresh guacamole or maybe just an avocado, and then maybe squeeze like some fresh lime juice on it. These were really good and really refreshing. Very low carb in the sense that these are only 4 grams of net carbs for each tortilla, and I only used about 2 ounces, or I say roughly, I don't know what that is in grams. Let's just say 2 ounces of rice. All right, so these came out amazing. If you didn't see my pork rice bowls that I did last time, go check those out. I'll put a link here, and then if you're watching this somewhere else, I'll put a link in the description as well. Those came out amazing. All right, that's all I got for tonight. So if you like this, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Go ahead, smash it. I really do appreciate it. It does help me out a lot as far as, you know, getting this video seen by other people. If you're not already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Make sure when you do subscribe, you hit that little bell notification so you're notified when I upload. I try to upload twice a week, typically on Wednesdays and Sundays. All right, so that's all I got to plug. All right, I'm sorry, it's silly. Last thing is, guys, remember, what do I always say? Stay focused, stay positive, and keep it moving. Good day, everybody. I gotta put these in the refrigerator. See you later. All right, bye-bye.